This is why you should never raise kittens. Look, this little kitten is only 2 months old, and it still can't use the toilet. It keeps peeing on the couch, sometimes even pooping under the bed. The owner was going crazy. To keep the house clean, he decided to train the kitten to use the toilet. First he dug a hole in the litter box, then he placed some paper inside. Then he showed the kitten how to cover it, but halfway through the lesson, the kitten just fell asleep, so the owner had no choice. He asked the big cat in the house to teach it instead. The big cat showed it step by step. At first it looked like the kitten understood, but when it tried to cover things, it just scratched at the air. It even almost ate its own poop. By the end of the lesson, the kitten just lay down and slept in the litter box. The owner was completely defeated. He bought lots of tasty food and begged the big cats to keep teaching the kitten. After a month of training, the kitten finally learned to use the toilet, but the owner wanted to cry because he had spent nearly $1,000 on cat treats. The owner is on the verge of tears, but soon he realizes the kitten seems to need a bath. Look, after the kitten was born, it was so adorable. The owner could not resist dressing it up. He used 2 slices of bread to make the kitten look like a hamburger. Then he hid it inside a bag to pretend it was a bag of chips. He even dressed it up like sushi with veggies and rice to make it look like a burrito because it was so cute. The owner kissed it every single day. The kitten ended up smelling like drool. Even the mama cat did not like it anymore, so the owner decided to give it a bath. On its very first bath, the kitten actually loved it. It even let out a tiny fart from being so relaxed. After the bath, the owner dried it gently with a hairdryer, and the kitten looked brand new. Then the owner started kissing it all over again. The kitten was so done with it. It tried to run away so many times, but always got caught and pulled back. But then the owner notices the kittens in the house are not moving much. Look, as the weather got colder, all the kittens stayed curled up in their bed, not moving at all. To make them more active, the owner decided to make them some clothes. First, he plucked some fur from the adult cats. Soon he collected a big pile of cat hair. Then he used the felting technique, shaping the fur into a little outfit. But one color looked too plain, so he started pulling fur from the gray cat and the white cat. The white cat got really mad. He was scared he would go bald, so the owner came up with a new idea. He put some brushes inside a box, so when the cats walked through, their loose fur got stuck on the brushes. Just like that, he gathered enough fur. Then he made 2 tiny outfits out of it and added some cute decorations. The kittens' warm vests were finally ready. When they put them on, they looked so adorable. Now these kittens can play outside without being afraid of the cold. However, even though kittens look adorable, sometimes they can be really naughty. This owner wanted to clean the house, but his kittens kept causing trouble everywhere, so he put them all on the bed, but they all jumped right out. They crawled all over the place. Some kittens thought it was a game, hiding under pillows, waiting for the owner to find them. This made the owner exhausted, so he bought a playpen, hoping to keep the kittens out. To test it, he placed a bowl of cat food inside, but the kittens slipped right through the gaps, so the owner dressed them in little clothes to make them lighter. It actually worked. This kitten tried so many times, but just could not squeeze through. Just when the owner felt relieved, some thinner kittens still got inside, so he tied a small stick to their bodies. This way, no matter how hard they tried, they could not get in anymore. Finally, the owner could clean in peace. Would you want to raise a bunch of kittens like this? Look, because the kittens have way too much energy, the owner decides to take them on a vacation. First, he packed a tiny suitcase for each one and filled it with cat supplies. Then he bought cute little outfits so they can wear them on the trip, just in case. He even taught them survival skills, like hiding when they sense danger. Soon the kittens all learned how to crawl into holes, but since this was their first trip, he had to train them to ride in a car. He built a mini bus out of cardboard so the kittens could practice, but after one hard break, one kitten was gone. It had been thrown out of the box, so he bought toy cars to train their balance. Finally, the big day came. Just when he thought everything was ready, one kitten still flew out of the car. Good thing he had a tiny car seat prepared and strapped the kitten inside. But when they got to the hotel, the kittens were so tired, they just stayed in bed and refused to go out. The owner could only facepalm. He kept all the kittens inside the house. He did not allow them to go outside. However, one kitten always wanted to go out and play, but the owner would not let it leave. Turns out, every time it goes out, it comes back all dirty. From then on, the owner banned it from going out, but the kitten was so sad, almost cried. The owner felt bad, so he decided to take it on a picnic. He packed a box for the kitten, then put it in a bag, and went outdoors. He laid out a mat, set up a small tent, then let the kitten out. But surprisingly, the kitten was too shy. It refused to come out and kept hiding in his arms. Later, the kitten got used to the outdoors, started to explore bravely. Luckily, the owner had prepared a bee costume. Once the kitten put it on, it was no longer afraid of getting dirty. Later, to help the other kittens burn off their energy, he decided to teach them to drive first. Soon, the yellow kitten learned to ride a motorcycle. The white kitten learned to ride a trike. But when the car braked hard, the kitten got thrown out, so he decided to buy them helmets. But the fish helmet was way too tight. The kitten couldn't get used to it. Then he tried a panda helmet, but it was too heavy. The kitten couldn't even lift its head. Finally, the banana helmet fit just right, but the kittens thought it looked ugly. None of them wanted to wear it, so he bought them a truck instead, thinking it might be safer. But as soon as the kitten got in, the car won't move at all. The kitten even hit the lift switch, almost fell out of the truck. But soon, the owner noticed the kittens were sleeping in very strange positions, like this little yellow one. It never sleeps in the cat bed. It squeezes into the strangest places, like under the cat bed, or under a pillow. One day, the owner even found it inside a hoodie sleeve. This white kitten is the same way. It loves to hide when it sleeps. Sometimes it curls up inside the cat bed hole. Sometimes it hides in the owner's slipper. The owner pulls it out, but it just crawls into the other slipper. And this orange kitten is even funnier. At first, it liked sleeping on the edge of the cat bed, with its back legs hanging off. Then the owner noticed. It started sleeping with its face against the wall. The owner was worried it might suffocate, so he moved its head out. But the kitten just leaned on the wall and fell asleep. Later, it even learned how to sleep standing up. And this little gray kitten always hugs something when it sleeps. At first, the owner gave it a stuffed toy. Later, he let it hug the other cats to make them closer. In this way, the owner solved the kitten's sleeping problem. But soon, he found one kitten's head looked a bit unusual. When this kitten lifts its head, it keeps shaking in a weird way. It never stops. The owner thinks its head is too heavy, so its little neck cannot hold it. He buys a tiny hat to help keep its head steady. But once the kitten wears it, its head shakes even more. So, the owner tries a triangle hat. After the kitten puts it on, its head finally stops shaking. Later, the owner buys a chip-shaped hat. The kitten looks super cute in it. He just can't stop kissing the kitten. Not long after, the mother cat gave birth to another litter. This made the owner very happy. However, as the number of kittens kept growing, the old cat bed became too small, so he bought a giant cat bed. When the kittens went inside, it still looked super spacious. Then the owner climbed in too, so he could stay with his cats all day and night. When the weather got hotter, he wanted the cats to stay cool, so he bought a giant cooling house. This time, he jumped right in again, enjoying the cool air with them. From then on, he became obsessed with giant products. He got them a giant food bowl. When the kitten stood on it, it looked like standing on top of a mountain. He even bought them a giant litter box. The cats loved it so much. Before the owner even finished pouring the litter, one kitten couldn't wait and used it right away. These kittens brought the owner a lot of joy, but soon his luck ran out, because one of his kittens was a complete fool. Look, whenever the kitten drinks milk, it dives headfirst into the bowl, making a complete mess. The owner is confused, because none of the other kittens act like this, so she decides to wean it off milk, and teach it to eat kibble. But the next second, the kitten actually poops in the food bowl. The owner is speechless. She tries again, but the kitten thinks the bowl itself is food, and starts chewing on it. Then when the owner tries to teach it to use the litter box, the kitten mistakes the litter for food, and starts eating it. Not only that, its sleeping positions are super weird. Sometimes its head dangles in the air. Sometimes it props its head up with its paws, so every time it wakes up, its neck is stiff. The owner tries to show it the right way to sleep, but the kitten only learns halfway. Its body is flat on the bed, but its head is still leaning against the wall. The owner is losing her mind. She thinks this kitten must be dumb, but she never knew the reason, until she sees the mother cat roughly tossing the kitten onto the ground. Later, the owner sent the kitten to school, hoping it would become smarter. However, the kitten only looked forward to school ending, because it could not wait to go home for milk. It walked with its tiny little leg. It runs home on its tiny legs, rushing as fast as it can. As soon as it gets home, the owner gives it a bottle of milk. The kitten starts drinking right away, but then, the other kittens see it, and all rush over to steal the milk. A little fight almost breaks breaks out, the owner has to separate them and feed this kitten alone. After it's full, its belly looks round and cute. The kitten wants to go out and play, but the owner keeps stopping it, trying to make it take a nap. However, the kitten still manages to escape, sneaking out on its own. Luckily, the owner catches it in time to teach it a lesson. The owner uses the milk bottle as bait and traps it inside a glass tunnel. And just like that, the little kitten falls asleep helplessly. The owner locked it in its cat bed. Unexpectedly, it wanted to play outside the bed, but its legs are just too short. It can't jump out of the little bed at all. When it finally climbs up the wooden rail, it falls right back down. Its legs are so short, it can't even stand up. That makes the kitten really frustrated. It just wants to play outside like its two brothers. Seeing the kitten's jealous little face, the owner decides to help. They teach the kitten how to push with its back legs, and just like that, the kitten makes it out. But then, the owner puts it back in the bed to let the little one try on its own. And this kitten suddenly became very smart. It jumps on the rail first, practicing the moves. Once it's confident, it jumps out all by itself. It looks around curiously, seeing how smart it is. The owner rewards it with a bowl of milk and keeps drinking happily. It drinks so much, it can't stop burping. Would you want a kitten this cute?